I'll be watching most of them this week anyway.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's literally it's all obviously built in for you. I can help you add these as soon as you're ready to go. They're quite simple. The RSI, the AO MACD, and the divergence. You just go to the indicators at the top, and you just search for them. AO is one of these. You just click on it, and what everybody does is obviously just clicks on the little star, so it's there for you. So if you ever do lose it, it's always there for you. Yeah, we're literally, so these are support and resistant lines. You know a little bit about Forex already, don't you? Didn't you trade Forex before?
No, I was practicing it, so I basically just sort of looking at how it works and stuff, but I didn't look at the full ins and outs of it at the time.
Okay, that's fine, yeah. So these are your support and resistant lines. So basically, just imagine building a house, right? So obviously we need the floor, we need sides, and obviously we need the roof, and we need the ceiling. So this is the same, mate. So you've got here, see the green platforms? There's another small one there. It just means that there's resistance. So what that is, basically, this market is trying to push down to here, but there's so many buyers in trying to push it up to the way. So it just it creates resistance. It's a bit like tug of war, mate. So it can go either way, really. So what I do is you always look left to trade right. Yeah, so you need to be looking at what's going on here, really. And this is where you start to see patterns such as this. The market's up here. It pushes down, pulls back, pushes down, pulls back, pushes down, pulls back. It happens everywhere in the market, mate. So that stuff you'll just get used to, pushes down. How long of a sort of trend it will go. You'll just get used to. So if we mark it out, trend, so from there down to the bottom, that should roughly be the same length as that one. So we just move that, it's not that far. So the length of each sort of, that one's a little bit shorter, but and that one there, it's not far off. So they're all very, very similar in length size, and the same with the green going up. That there should be similar size to that there. Here they go. That one's perfect. See from the bottom to the top of the green. So all this stuff you'll just literally learn, mate. Just reading candles and stuff. That is.
So in relation to that, so when you got the full body, of the candle, right, but then you've got the extra part at the top,
the wick,
the wick, Is that when sellers are trying to drive the prices down?
No, well, here, exactly, mate. So here, the green is obviously people trying to buy in the market, so obviously trying to push up. So it's failed, So the wick is really, a lot of the traders will say to you, trying to ignore them because there's just noise, because you can't take the wick off. So if you just looked at the candles, it just looks pretty smooth, to be honest. But if you put them back on, they do actually help, and it obviously shows you, like you just said there, people are trying to push upwards, but it's failed. It's hit the resistance here, and there's a lot more people selling the market, hence why it's been pushed down. And this is what the banks do. Banks do this on purpose. They actually get fined for it. Like Barclays got fined £1.8 billion last year, but because they take people out on purpose. You see, they've got a software that knows where people's stop losses are. So that would have been the banks there. So pushing it all the way up on purpose. They take people out. So there's millions and millions of pounds sat here. And then they push it down, and then they go back up. So it's a very clever game that they do. It's actually illegal, but and obviously that's how you get your shitty 1% a year interest over the year. So that all the banks are using your money to trade and move the market. So to move 1 pip in the market, you need to have £100,000 behind you. That's what it takes to move 1 pipette in the market. But yeah, you're right, mate. I'll go back a little bit. Like here, this would have been perfect, really. So you've got your push upwards. So you've got 1 wick, 2 wick, it's failed. Then obviously you've got your red downwards. I wouldn't get into that one because it's just hit the resistance again. There's a little cloud there. So again, you just wait. They're only literally a minute each, so you don't have to wait that long. Then you've got an indecision candle. So this one here, it doesn't know which way it wants to go. So, you know, the wick is pushing down and the wick is pushing upwards as well. So this is the important. Go on, mate.
Just on that, you know, those wicks, right? Are they sort of equal in terms of size, or is it just? How do you determine then your? I think one of the questions in my head is, how do you determine your entry point to say either buy or sell?
Yeah, so this is a perfect example here, mate. So you're just looking for this example, really. So it's pushing up, so it's ejected. So therefore, we know that's the ceiling of the house. So there's something there stopping this market being able to break through. Yeah, it's failed. So it can't push through. It's tried twice. It's failed. So if it obviously would have gone through, obviously this would have been green and it would have been pushing up and up and up, you know, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So it's tried once, twice, it's failed. Now, like you said earlier on, the wicks means it's tried to push, but it's exhausted. Yeah, it just can't push through. It doesn't have enough power in it. So therefore, the body has come back down, retraced. So you know, because of that reason, there's at some point this is going to happen. Yeah, the push downwards, because there's not enough people in the market pushing upwards. There's more people selling. Obviously, more people selling, the market's going to go down. So as soon as we see this, we identify these two actually are indecision candles, which is the market is just taking a little break, if you like. Just imagine us going for a jog. We take a little 20-second breather. The market is just taking a little second here now to work out where it wants to go. Yeah, it's just tried to push up. It's tried to push down. Same again here. It's tried to push up. It's tried to push down. But it's literally just stayed in the same spot. It's not really moved. So what we're looking for now, obviously, is the downward candle. But it's important we get a flat top. Yeah. So this one, it depends on your confidence. At the moment, for you, I wouldn't really take that because there is a slight wick there. Yeah, which could mean it could go the other way. Yeah. So what I would do is wait for this one to break the EMA, the SMA in the middle, so the green and the red line. Yeah. So because what's happened here is obviously it's done its thing. It's done that's really important. The indecision candles, and then you've got your push down, but it's only come to here. But what's happened? The body's come back and respected the EMA, so the green and red line. So this I call home or a magnet. It always comes back to this line. Yeah. So it'll do its thing. Obviously, it'll obviously go. You know, it's gone down, come back up to here, pushed up, come back down to here to the EMA. It's done its thing again, come back down, tried to push through, failed. So obviously we've got a resistance there at the bottom of that cloud. So it's obviously pushing up. Now we've got another resistance at the top. So now we've got the indecision candles. So we're looking for the next flat top, bottom, to be able to push through the SMA. Because if you would have taken this one, it's pushed through, but it's not had enough power behind it to be able to carry on through. So there's a 50-50 chance you would have lost that trade.
Yeah.
This is all just down to entry points. So just wait it out. You know, you could have been watching this for literally all it is a minute. This is the one that's the important one. It's got the try on the top. So this is all the thing that Sean's been setting up. So if he's got a try on the top, it means it's obviously very powerful, which if you would have taken that there, it's ended up down there. So you could have taken that one, that one, that one. This, if you see the luminous pink one, it means there's more volume and more power in it. Yeah, so it just keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing. Yeah, so that if you can get them, mate, with a try above it. So we've got a rule. So see the SMA, you don't want to be doing any trades unless, so any sells has to be below. Yeah, so it has to be below the pink, the red line. Any sells down. Any buys, also the green candles need to be above the green. So here, I wouldn't be buying here because what it does sometimes is obviously if you've got in a buy there, it goes there, it's respected the magnet and bounced back off. It could have done. It didn't do that time, but sometimes it does. So like here, if you would have got in on that buy here on that indecision candle, it's gone up, it's pushed through the EMA, but what's happened is come back down. So it's just literally all down to timing. You could be in profit here. Obviously, your trade on 1 minute on race option lasts for 1 minute. So if it would have been up here on at, let's say, 51 seconds, you would have been winning. If it had come back down here on the 59th minute second, you could have lost it. So it's important, because just what I'm trying to say is don't trade too close to the SMA, because it's very, very powerful. Yeah, it can. It's like a slingshot. It can literally push the market either way. So
literally, what I'm thinking, Jason, is in my head at the minute, yeah, is where you got the SMA, yeah, right. Would you look back at the first, say, the third candle on the left, for example,
from here,
or the previous one? Go back a bit. Not that one. The ones in the red that you showed me a few seconds ago.
The pink or red?
The red on the previous trade.
Here.
Yeah.
So
would you look at where you got? Okay, yeah. So where you got so that's what I'm talking about. The try. Yeah. So I'm saying if you go back to the second from the left, or the third, which is the one that you're on now, not the one that you're on a few seconds ago. That one.
Yeah.
Would you take that as some sort of an indication to say, okay, that is a point where you need to start thinking about an entry point?
100%.
Yeah,
into a sell only, obviously.
Yeah. So would that be so? Just, and the thing what I get confused is when I'm looking at these, is the green the sell and the red the buy, or is it the other way around?
The other way around, mate.
So the green is the buy.
Yeah.
And the red is the sell. Yeah.
Okay. How I remembered it is red is debt in your bank, so it's down. That's how I remembered it.
Okay.
It's downward. You can change colors if you want. You just double click on it. You can change whatever color you want. So you can change them. I've never changed them because that's how I first originally learned it.
Yeah.
Green was up and red was down. So I just stuck with that. But yeah, Sean has, I think he's got all sorts on his. But you know, like when they're like, let's go to Bitcoin, it's live now. Obviously red is down because it's pushing down. You'll see it. You just get used to it, mate. See, the red is pushing down. If it was starting to push upwards, it'd be obviously green. There you go. So you can see it clearly. Obviously states it's. So here now, this is obviously live chart, Bitcoin. So this is on a good run. So for example, here we know. So this is where I draw in my little house, my little ceiling.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be perfect just because this is slightly below the horizontal line I put in the white one. It doesn't mean that I'm off. You're never going to get a perfect market, really, mate. So I used to actually put triangles in. So then this is a zone rather than just one line, if you like. It depends how clean. A lot of people just like clean charts. Yeah, this is your zone in this area, really. So we know there's a resistance up here and just slightly here. So I'd be waiting for where are we going? Pen, brush. So all this stuff I would ignore, mate. It's far too close to the EMA. Yeah. So this here I wouldn't touch them because the green candles they're just too small for me. These ones here, they're not fantastic. These big ones are the ones I trade. They're the ones you literally cannot go wrong with 90% of the time. So it's as soon as that broke, that white line, bang, I'd be in straight away. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could have taken 4 trades out of that. Yeah, they're all flat bottoms. It's got a try. Everything's pushing up. So you got the green and the purple. So all these lines and things, they all mean exactly the same thing, mate. It's just volume in the market. It's just different ways of showing you what it is. So what I also do in the start when I was learning, click on the vertical line. This is recorded, by the way. I'll send it over to you if you want.
Oh, cool.
So I put my line in, so just to see, obviously try and work it out to line it all up. So the green and the purple need to be as they are there. They're parallel, but not too close and not too far apart. Yeah, this is perfect. They just need to be tandem in line. So that's pushing up, basically meaning there's people in the market trying to push. We've got a green volume, which again, there's more people in the market trying to buy and sell. Obviously, that's good. We're going with the tide. So imagine swimming against the tide or with the tide. Which way you're going to win? Obviously, go with the tide. You got more survival rate. That's the way I seen it. So you see
just
go on, mate.
But so if I say for that, that's a 1 minute trade on that one particular candle, yeah. Do you leave that to run? Say if you went in the market where you are now, yeah, and left that to trade up, yeah. Do you get knocked out after the 1 minute, or do you does it continue to close?
No, it does it automatically for you, mate. As soon as you click buy or sell, that's it. You're in it for a minute. It'll close it automatically for you as well.
Okay, after a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought it probably, if you allow it to continue to run, yeah, you make a bigger profit like that way.
You can do, just don't get used to that. That's called a rollover, mate. So you just turn in a trade into you turn in a calculated trade into a kind of a 50-50 bookie sort of roulette casino game to me. That is really you're just guessing and guessing and guessing. You're just chasing it really. Yeah, it is sometimes. I think the Matty Pips, the guy that does HFX with IM, the one with the £7 million account, he's got a rule. He never ever clicks more than twice on the rollover. Yeah, anything after that, they could go either way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just if you need it, you don't get much time to. So let's say you've got 60 seconds in the trade. Anything between 59 countdown to 31 seconds, you can click on the rollover. So the last 30 seconds, you cannot click it. Your trade is locked in then, so it's going to finish on obviously 0 as soon as that 1 minute is up. So you've got to be fairly quick. Let me log into race option.
No, it's fine because I don't want to get into that, to be honest, right now, Jason.
Okay, mate, no worries.
I'd rather just basically stick where it is. It's 1 minute trades.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's all it is, mate. So yeah, we've got that lined up. So we've got the try. It's above the EMA. So what I also did was, if you want to write this down, you can look back at it if you want. So number one, God, what was it called? Trend direction. So rule number one of anybody that trades Forex, trend is your friend. Yeah, it's the biggest giveaway ever. You can, even if you go down to, so again, I used to drop my charts to 1 hour and see the overall trend direction. So obviously we can tell here, trend. There you go. The overall trend direction is, you tell me, up or down? Which way is the market going?
Looking at that, it's going up.
Yeah, there you go. So the overall direction. So there's more chance of us winning, obviously, an upward trade than a downward trade, because obviously there's more momentum pushing upwards. So that's a very, very basic, I think, I used to do. I still do it now. I just drop it to the 1 hour. I just don't throw it in. I'm sure you can tell even without throwing it as well. You know, you can see it's pushing upwards.
Yeah.
Drop it to the 1 minute. So trend direction, yeah. Rule number one of literally even the big people. Trend is everything. Number two. So we identify the location of the candles, so above or below the EMA. So obviously we have buys above the EMA.
On that EMA, Jason, can you just put the actual what it actually means, so I understand, so I remember for next time, please?
Yeah, no worries. Buys above the EMA and sells below the EMA. So the EMA is an exponential moving average. So what it does, it takes the last 20 candles and it gives you a mean. So it takes the last 20 candles. So let's say it was roughly about 20 in that area there. It takes the price and then gives you a mean average of the price. It just gives you an overall line direction of the market movement, if that makes sense. EMA exponential moving average, exponential. Also got number 3 would be has the try indicator kicked in. Number 4, volume bars. So these are the volume bars at the bottom. Volume bars. That means how much people is either selling or buying at that current point. Number 5, we've got the CMF and a divergence. So the CMF is the green one. So that means the money flow, how much actual money that's in the market. So obviously there's more money pushing up here at the moment.
Yep.
The CMF and divergence. So the divergence is the only thing in Forex that will give you the slight advantage in possibly what is going to happen, if that makes sense. So here, we got a bearish divergence. So do you know what bearish and bullish means? That's obviously how Forex originally started.
I've come across it where it says a bullish. So it's basically that case of, from a bullish point of view, where the buyers are trying to push that price up further.
Yeah.
But then suddenly straight away the sellers are coming in and pushing the price down.
No, you're right the first time. It's just simply bull. Obviously, bull, you've seen them. If you go to New York on Wall Street, you'll actually see a bull with horns. So a bull attacks upwards with his horns. That means that's where the name has come from. So bullish obviously means up, and a bear always attacks down with his claws. So bearish is downwards. That's a good way to remember. Yeah. So if you see a lot of people, that's why a lot of traders like Lamborghinis, because obviously their logo is bull, isn't it?
Yeah.
The CMF and divergence, so that's what they are. 6 is the AO and MACD. So that's the same. The moving average. It's just the same sort of thing. It's just based on a different length. So this takes the last 9 candles. So this takes the last 20 candles. We've also got the little dots. See the green dots, the red dots. So what that means is basically the red line and the green line are crossing over. So it's about to cross over here, I'd say, which basically means obviously we're up, 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 as you can see here, up, up, up. So if the green crosses the red line here now, we'll get a red dot, which identifies to us we're going to be in a downward market soon. Yeah, so then we know we're looking for sells. Yeah, so here we were below. See the sort of grey cloud in the background? In the bottom,
yeah,
down here. So that's I'll draw that in for you. Horizontal line. So if you draw your line at 0, that's obviously your point. So let me just make sure it's in the right place. Coordinates 0, 0, 0. Okay, so that is literally sat on 0 now. Okay, so anything above it, again, we're good for buys. So that's why I draw my horizontal line in. Yeah, so that sort of matches it up. So we're above the red line, which is good for buys. Again, it's the same thing as the EMA. Above is good for buys. The cloud is above. Obviously here, the cloud is below. What's happened to the candles is pushing downwards, which is what should be happening. Yeah, so here we've got the crossover. That's why you've got the red dots. So it's pushing up, 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 and then it's down, down, down. You've got the crossover. It just basically means the same thing. So volume, there you go. You just got a dot there now, because it's starting to push downwards. Yeah, so the MACD is got an overall overall bias of pushing downwards. So oh god, I've never seen that before. Now we've got 2 of them. So I would typically be staying out of that now because it's massively indecisive. Doesn't really know what it wants to do. So it has hit a little resistance at the bottom there. There's a little platform there. And then the RSI is pretty much the same thing. So anything, see the dotted black and white line at the top?
Yeah.
So anything over 75%, that means this particular pair, obviously here is Bitcoin, is overbought. So there's so many people buying it. Obviously anything goes up, must come down. Yeah, so that's as simple as that is. There's so many people buying it here at the top. It should do at some point come back down. So I have my line usually on 50 here.
So when you go down 50, do you use that as a point to say, okay, you're going to buy or you're going to sell?
Yeah, it's just the same thing again as the EMA, mate. So anything above between the 50 and the 75, because up here I know it's overbought, so there's so many people bought it.
Yeah.
I don't need buying even more, because it can't really go much higher, if that makes sense. Well, it could do, but obviously, record highs, they don't come that often.
No.
So it's got to come back down, and the same as on the bottom, mate. So anything between obviously 0 and 25, it's been oversold. Yeah, so if it's come, let's go back a bit. So here, obviously it's oversold. What's happened? It's come back up. Yes, here it's overbought, so it's pushed back down. So there's a lot of people obviously buying. So let's go here. So that would be a good opportunity, obviously below the 50. Yeah, we know that there's people obviously selling now. So again, I just put my vertical line in.
So in your tools what are the key ones that you tend to use most?
These ones I've just been showing you, really, mate. You can add them. So the trend line, you can just click on the start. It'll go to your little favorites here, a little toolbox here, so you don't have to go to the menu every time. The horizontal line is the ones across, and the vertical lines obviously is the ones upwards. Arrow, I don't really use. I can take that off. And the horizontal ray, that's this one, which that starts where you want it to start, whereas the red one goes all the way across the whole screen, goes back and back and back and back. So this one just starts at where you want, and then you can move this one.
So once you set that up in place on race option, yeah,
or trading view, yeah,
great trading view, right? Is that always in place, or do you have to set it up for each, say, currency that you use? You want to buy or sell?
No, you go on Euro GBP, it's still there for you, exactly the same. The tools will be, Jesus, that was a big drop. Yeah, the tools will still be there, mate. No matter what trade you click on, what pair you click on, it's always there. So AOMACD, and then what else we got? RSI, so number 7. RSI is retail strength indicator. So above 75% is over bought. These were bought, BOUTC. And then under 25% means oversold. I think that's it. So it seems like a lot of 7 steps, but I can literally do that in about 2 seconds now. You can just scan it, scan the whole thing. It just comes with that. It just comes second nature to you then, mate.
Okay.
Oh shit! I just deleted all that. How do I go back? There you go. So I don't think we've got a number 8. So number 8, just take the trade. For me personally, I would at least want to have 6 out of them, 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 7 before I take a trade. Okay, so here now, let's just delete all this. So here now, straight away, I can do this, put my line in, bang, bang. Yeah, I know, spotted that straight away up there. Yeah, that's a resistance, it's pushed up.
Yeah.
We've got a massive resistance, a red line across, the dotted red line at the top. So the EMA is down here. Yeah, so I know at some point it's going to come back down to my EMA. We've got volume red, the green and the purple is pushing down. This is starting to fade away, so it's going to start pushing down again. The cloud has started to push down. The retail strength indicators push down. Bang, there you go. Back over straight over to race option. Wait, wait, and wait. So we've got 31 seconds left of this trade. That took how long? About 10 seconds to do all that. Yeah, so it's just literally as fast as that, mate. And you just identify it. So this now is obviously perfect again. So push, push, push. It's hit a resistance. You can't go anymore. So now we've got 1, 2, 3 indecision candles, which is good for us. Yeah, we're always looking for the indecision candles. It just doesn't know which way it wants to go. But as soon as we got the flat top, like that one, bang.
So then you just drop where you got and then you drop in straight from there, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you get that flat bottom, mate, you're in. Ideally, it needs to open below this previous wick, because if not, it could just literally do what it's doing now. It could open here and just retrace. Yeah, so ideally this should have really ideally opened here.
Drop below.
Yeah, so you just want it to be pushing and pushing and pushing further down. And the next one, then there you go. That would you would have won that. It's just confidence, mate. You know, sometimes, oh shit. But what I did, I don't know what you're starting with, but what I did, I just literally took live trade. I didn't bother with demo. So yeah, you can smash that all day long, mate. So I just took £1 trades. Yeah, just practice on £1 trades, mate. So you can take obviously 10. If you lose 10, it's only £10, really. You know, you shouldn't lose that much. But like this one now, you could have taken that one. This one, I wouldn't take that one because it's just not opened below. There's a slight little resistance there. So yeah, there you go. So it's gone into indecision now. Yeah, so it literally doesn't know which way it wants to go now. You would have won that one, which would have been kind of lucky. So I just wait, mate. We just get paid to wait. So I'd be just waiting and waiting and waiting now for. So now I'd use my horizontal ray, put that in on that little platform there. You don't have to, mate. You can just leave it without. It just makes it a lot clearer for me.
Yeah, no, I'd rather use the tools and stuff so I understand it better to make it easier for me at the end of the day. That's why I see.
Yeah.
I like to keep it simple. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've seen it. I see, obviously, okay, yeah. Now I know where to go into. Now I know when to come out. Now I know when to enter. Right. And just do it that way. And yeah, like you say, I'd rather start with pound trades. Yeah. And if I lose a tenner, I lose a tenner. Well, at the end of the day, I'm not losing. I'm not blowing my account.
No. So here we're just waiting for it to pass this because there's resistance here. Yeah, so these long wicks is trying to push down. It may not do. It's obviously it could push up, come back down. It could even push back up further. Then that's why it's important for us to wait for it to smash through this platform here, and I think it will because it wants to come back and hug the EMA. It wants to come and kiss this. Just going off experience, I think. Again, just reading charts. I think it'll come down to here, kiss the EMA and shoot back up. Because I remember we're in an overall upward direction, aren't we? And what happens is, I showed you early on, didn't I? Obviously upwards, down, pushes up, pulls back down. So there's only one little candle left. That's enough. Pulls it back down. So what happens when it pulls back down? The market always has to balance itself. So just again, going back to our picture of a house, you have to have balanced walls, wherever it's gone. So building obviously foundation, obviously on a house, it's obviously important to also have balanced walls as well. Yeah, so that's what the market is doing. So when it pulls back, it's balancing out the whole market. Imagine having a scales, it's just constantly trying to balance itself out, mate. That's all it does. It balances out. So yeah, this is going to smash through in a minute. This is 100% trade I would be taking now, mate. So it's tried 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just pushing and knocking on that door, and it's going to literally, in my opinion, plummet through down. It just keeps on attempting to push through that white line. There's something small holding it there. As soon as you get a strong enough candle or enough volume or enough people behind it, it'll go push through. Or on the total flip side, it could do that. It could start pushing up. But here now, I wouldn't be taking that because it's just not powerful enough for me. If the candle's just not big enough for me. So this, to me, is now sideways consolidation. It's in a sideways market. Yeah. It could be doing this for 15, 20 minutes. It could even do it for 4 hours, 10 hours. This, you don't want to be trading consolidation. Sideways movements is no good. So you're waiting for a breakthrough, either now, here, down, or back up to here, upwards, and it smashes. So this, at the moment, here is your previous high. Yeah, so this green wick at the top, that's the current highest point in the market in this sort of section. In this section, yeah. So you don't have to go looking back ages and ages and ages. Just see what's going on here now and what's happening now. Yeah. So yes, it's just, see, obviously there's a little resistance again there. So that's why it's not pushed up. Again, that's why you know, that my my points of saying not to take it would have been valid there, because it would have just pushed up there. You would have got into the trade, it would have come back down, you would have lost. You know, so that's just reading the market, really, mate. You know, it's this came up to here, but it's not powerful enough for me. They need to be really big candles like this for me to take trades. You need, you know, volume and power behind them.
Okay, that's cool. Just, you know, could you send me the, you know, the Excel sheet, the compounding one?
Yeah, sure, no problem, mate.
Yeah, the wins and losses. Is it two separate? Just one?
It's just one, mate. So I think there's one in. Yeah, I'll find it for you, mate.
Yeah, don't need to do it now. It's fine. As long as you can just send me that, that'll be appreciated.
No problem, mate. But yeah, that's the overall gist of it. I've got to shoot now. I've got a taxi job. But that's the overall job of it. Overall gist of how we trade, mate. It does seem like it take a lot to take in, but you know, I got it in. I got it straight away, and it took me about 4 days to start making money on this HFX, because I used to trade Forex, so I've not been used to this either. I've been in this 9 weeks, I think now. But yeah, it's quite easy to pick up, especially compared to Forex, mate. But yeah, just do the IM Academy, go through that, getting obviously basic understanding of what's going on, and then we can jump on another one if you want. You know, as soon as you're happy and
yeah, that's fine. Because what the other thing I might just do is say, okay, if you're happy with it, is maybe just do a few trades maybe over the weekend or something when you're free, or in the week or something. Yeah.
So what I can do is you can share your screen, and then you can just walk me through it, and you speak to me. You just do what I done basically. Look, we're looking for this now. We're looking for this. You know, we're waiting for this to happen, and then I can just go. We can just work together, mate. Go from there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if we could do that, that'd be pretty. But I will try it by myself on my own 2 feet as well.
Yeah, of course. You know, you're only paying like with pound coins anyway, so you know that's the only way you can learn, I guess, in the deep end, isn't it? Really, just have a go, mate. If you want to go on demo, go on demo. You know, it's no problem.
Oh, that's fine. I'll have a look at that.
I'll stop this.